Hello, I'm Archie Luxury and welcome to the program. Today I'm reviewing Made by Cartier, the fabulous book, 150 Years of Tradition and Innovation. And this is a book I've owned for some years, and it's accompanied me when I was in Asia and then when I came back. So this book has lived it's had a bit of a hard life, I'm afraid to say, but it's a really cool book. And if you're a Cartier nut, this is the book to have. It's something about the Cartier brand, and it's amazing. It gives you the story, shows you some of the amazing pieces that Cartier has produced over the years. The only thing that I was a little bit disappointed of when I got the book first up, it covers a lot of things from the past, and I was hoping it would cover some more of the modern developments. But now that I've had this book for over a decade, I kind of like the fact that it covers the old history of Cartier. So, that's not such a bad thing there. And it's a very useful guide. It shows you some of the wonderful Cartier products that you just wouldn't have imagined that Cartier would have produced them. And the book is set up it starts off with the earliest pieces, and then it goes to later pieces, and it looks at Cartier for the time. So it's very much, it gives you how Cartier's clientele has changed over the years. And it's a fabulous book. It looks at the only sad thing is there's some things here which they're just heirlooms. You'd never be able to afford them, or they're just so rare and scarce. It's sort of you just think, wow, look at these beautiful things. So it is an amazing display in this book here, and I've enjoyed it. Although I've got my collection is mainly more modern Cartier products. So it's interesting to see the development of their pens and cigarette lighters and how they developed over time. It looks at Cartier from its business point of view. It looks at how the business changed with the changing times. And it sort of, I remember reading in this book, it said, well, tiaras went out, and when Musty Cartier came out, things were very different. People could no longer afford hugely expensive things. The Great Depression is covered because that affects a luxury business like Cartier. And it's done very well. I've got to say, the book is really well done. And I just wish I could get some very early collectible Cartier items. They're so scarce to get hold of there. But it does cover things nicely, and if you've got a product, it shows you how it's evolved. As I said, it's arranged in time periods, so it sort of goes through the times and explains how Cartier marketed products at those times. The 60s, it looks at the fashion, and it also then looks at the type of products that people were desiring. And it's a very interesting read, particularly when the 70s, where Cartier released a whole lot of lifestyle ranges for a more middle class, not so much the kings and royalty, which was in decline. So it is very fascinating with the introduction of Musty Cartier, but it does look at classics, the tanks, and I really loved it for just looking at how the different leather goods, the burgundy leather, and it's very interesting. You often don't see many of these early 70s Cartier pieces. And it's a great reference point. I've actually got that clock there, and it's a great reference point to see, oh, that's when it came out. So that clock was known as a personal line clock, and it came out in 1990, which is, it's just very lovely to have this as a reference point. And it's very useful. Again, I've got those two clocks, and I can see early 80s. So this type of thing, this type of book is something you buy because you love the Cartier brand. It's not just for watch collectors or accessories collectors. It's for somebody who loves the Cartier brand. And it's also got some nice celebrity. Sir Elton John here, shows you the Cartier optics, the Cartier fountain pens. So it's got some things here where I've actually owned many of the newer pieces at times, although I may not own them now. It's just a beautiful ensemble of how the Cartier brand has evolved over time. So the only criticism is that the book's not arranged in topics. I would have preferred if it was arranged in products, watches, fountain pens, clocks, accessories. But I understand how they've done it, and it's not a bad book. It is a fantastic book. I'm a lover of all things Cartier, so it's quite okay how it is arranged. What would I give this book? Out of 10, I'm going to give it a 6.5. 6.5 out of 10. It's a good book to have. Made by Cartier, 150 years of tradition and innovation. So there we go. 6.5 out of 10. It's more for your Cartier collector than necessarily a person who's got one Cartier watch. I'm Archie Luxury. Tell me what you think.